Aloha and welcome to Java. Thank you all kindly for joining me. This is for Tuesday, March 26, 2024. First, I want to start with a shout out to Greg, of course. As always, thank you so much for bringing all of the new viewers that we've got to join us. If you are new, I hope you like the content here. Please consider hitting the like. It's all I ask. It really does help the channel, which really could use the boost. So thank you so much with that. I've got quite a bit to go over today. So with that, let's go right into our markets. So as always, we start with the MMRI, our favorite risk indicator. So stayed relatively stable between yesterday and today. Not a lot of movement. Yesterday it was relatively quiet. Today, we're watching a bit of recovery from that. We've got the relative strength of the dollar and the 10-year yield, which we always watch. Both of these look to be retracing a bit, which is positive for the market. So right now, even though we've got stocks that are still in the red territory, there was a bit of softening yesterday. The futures are looking green. We've also got still high in the greed index. So basically, the sentiment for this morning is a bit bolder. Uh, Asian markets were a bit mixed, but we're looking at basically green for the open for the most part. And I would like to urge a little bit of caution as we go forward in the week. So, depending on the type of trader that you are, your longer terms, look toward a little bit more the issues possibly in the week. We are closed Friday, it's Good Friday, and it, as this says, may not be such a good setup as far as trading for that day. I'm going to go through a few reasons of why, but as of today, it's looking pretty good. We aren't expecting a lot in the way of reports for this morning. We're getting our durable goods orders prior to the market open, and then consumer confidence, which will be interesting to see what they report at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. So, with earnings after the close today, we've got GameStop and a couple of others here. And then I also put up Wednesday because we've got some such as Carnival that will be basically doing their earnings prior to the market open. So you want to get your portfolio ready prior to that. So moving forward with banking and the economy, I want to give a quick general overview of what I think we should be kind of paying attention to. One of them is what I call the reversal of madness is coming. So basically, and I've spoken about this a bit before, is just all of the wind up that happened during the cough that came in had some significant turns. First, a boom in the real estate sector. We also had a few other things, booms in automobiles and the purchasing as well as recreational vehicles. So with all of these coming forward, then I think we're at the kind of in that area where it's going to begin that reversal. And we're seeing those all returning. We're watching auto loans and automobiles being repossessed. We're watching housing prices, the supply coming back, which will bring down prices. And this is, of course, just in general. And if I knew exactly when these things would happen, then, I could. I'd be a bajillionaire and I would make Taylor Swift look cheap. So nobody knows exactly when. I'm just giving kind of my take from the overall macro that I see playing out. So with that, let's go into our central banks, the truly evil leaders, if you will. We've got SWIFT. We were talking about this yesterday. They are the current payments plan that settle, and they're planning on launch of a new central bank digital currency platform 12 to 24 months, I think probably prior to that. But we're going to be watching that. We've got Canada has been kind of playing with their payments network, but they're having issues with it. So I think they're going to be linking up a little bit more than what they're talking about. And we'll keep an eye on that going forward because that is the primary step in the re-evaluation that's going to be coming forward, either moving to a different currency completely off the United States dollar, or it's going to re-evaluate itself to the new system, if you will. So looking into our commodities, the very first thing is energy. So oil trading little changed as markets are looking at the Russian supply and weaker dollar. So as the weaker dollar goes down, oil, of course, gets more expensive. That brings inflation because everything becomes more expensive. So even with all of the sanctions, though, Russia is pretty strong with their shipments, and we're getting a lot of stories coming out. Both sides, we have to kind of look through that. So Russia is still going strong with their oil trade. So I thought this was kind of not in a good way, but funny because we've got Vietnam boosting their coal imports because they're promising their investors no more power cuts. So if you think about this, coal is considered really as the dirtiest energy that's out there, but they can't charge their electric vehicles and it's bringing down the grid. So they're boosting the coal supply so they can provide this power for this clean energy charging. At any rate, it's all inflationary in the long run. I want to give a quick word about Boeing because they talked about the new CEO that's going to be coming in. Had their CEO basically took place as scapegoat, stepping down, their stock went up immediately. But there's more going on in the background. So they are primed from the last, basically, financial crisis that happened. They were one of the few larger companies that did not take the basically government backstops. Now, those come with strings. So I'm not going to go much deeper into that other than to bring up this. Sometimes the stories are right in our face. We got Boeing, the largest union, seeking a seat on the plane maker's board. So this very powerful positions in this company is large enough to move the gross domestic product of the United States. And they're not just with, as we said before, not just with airplanes, they're deep into the military space as well with all of the wars going on. So I just want to bring that up. Okay. With the real economy, we're getting these signs that we're watching despite what they're saying about the economy doing well. We've got Ericsson laying off 1,200 staff in Sweden. So this is a global issue that we're facing. We're going to see more layoffs. We haven't hit that pain level yet for them to step in. They're not quite ready with that CBDC. So they're kind of putting this all together and getting the timing ready. So right here, this story tells a little bit of truth unknowingly. It say UK retail sales rise after 10 months of falls. So this whole time they've been talking about how they've been a little bit soft, but their economy's been really well. But now they're finally admitting that they've had 10 months of really difficult times, and this one hasn't been so bad. They've still got issues over there as well as other places. So along with this, huge consumer lender missing their payments, they're filing Chapter 11 bankruptcy. So this company is not well known. However, we've been talking about the buy now, pay later companies that are going to begin to fall. So this is one of the early dominoes that we're watching drop. Okay, with Fisker, yesterday they delisted their stock, or talking about it with the NYSE. Their stock dropped so much that they put in halts because they had a fall through on perhaps a buyout with larger vehicles, so electric vehicle, and really took a beating yesterday. So who runs all of this in the background? And this is very interesting. We've got China's President Xi Jinping is meeting with American executives on Wednesday. They go on to talk about how this date was chosen on purpose to not disrupt other things that are going on, basically. So he's not meeting with political leaders anymore. This just shows how much of a corporatocracy that this has moved forward with. He's moving direct with executives. So doing their business discussions. So Wednesday, key date, markets closed on Friday. It's a long weekend, and we know a lot of things always go into those. So moving forward with France, Macron is looking to regulate illegal gold mining in French Guiana. So he's not really concerned about what's going on with the illegal things going on, but the areas he's concerned with mostly are very rich in gold reserves. They also happen to be very rich in oil. So, South American countries, and of course, he wants to look up to bolster the security side of that, which means bringing in military presence. So, going along with this, you look on page 2, you see France's budget deficit widening far more than expected. So, we're watching states try to take control of not just purchasing gold outright, but trying to take control of the mines themselves. China's been doing this for some time, France as well as some other countries. So I wanted to bring this up. This is very sad, but you're going to see this. There was a container ship that had basically crashed into the bridge in Baltimore, and a lot of it's just, that was crazy to watch the footage of this one. But a lot of cars and vehicles, people gone into the sea here, so probably lost quite a few. But I know this is coming out and we'll watch this. It is probably a bit of distraction, but we'll keep an eye on it. So a couple of lava updates not directly related to the market. Russia intercepted a couple of US supersonic bombers. So they're saying they were headed toward the Kremlin. Now, everybody, kind of pushes the edge a bit in these war times. However, basically, United States got busted. Not supposed to have fighters over there and not having any direct involvement. So behind the scenes of what you're seeing in the newspapers, it's already going on. War going to expand, all of this inflationary. And why is this going on? Money laundering. So basically, all of this is major cover for a lot of the money laundering going on there. And that's why the war is going to continue. They're talking about ceasefires and all of these things that will not come to pass until they're done with what they need to do. There's so much more going on below the surface, and we'll try to keep you up to date with that. So with that, we've got a Discord channel. You're welcome to join that. We will be starting, I believe, PJ and staff have put together some crypto things with that. That'll get exciting. And I'm planning on being there possibly on Wednesdays as well. Going to nail down a time so we can either have direct conversations or answer any questions. So this has gone on a bit long. Let you go on with your trading. I wish you all a wonderful day, or a green day in general if you're trading. And until I see you again, my friends, stay free.